Okay. Alrighty, you guys. So,
But thank you for having me. And please forgive me if I have to scroll with my mouse to see what your names are, so I know who I'm talking to.
no, absolutely. I mean, thank you so much for agreeing to come on with us and tell us a little bit about your journey. We just saw the film this morning, and we can all say that it was very informational, and I think everyone definitely got something different out of it. How do we feel, you guys, after watching the film?
After watching the film, I feel like hair is so important in many aspects for everyone. Everyone feels differently, but at the same time, they feel the same. It's very powerful hair.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get into.
I was just telling Cameron, you know, she said that she always had a passion for teaching hair, and she thought maybe, and also possibly teaching art. And what I said to her was, well, you know, hair is the art atop people's heads. You know, people use their hair as a form of self-expression. So all of you are artists, but for things that grow and can be cut. It's kind of cool.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to get into a few questions for Carly so she can share with us her experience with the film. So initially, in the beginning, what...
And feel free to, oh, sorry, I was just going to say, feel free to, I think there's like a little raise hand app on this thing, or if you want to not forget something as I'm talking, like feel free to have it be a dialogue if you have a question.
No,
or
absolutely.
write it down. You can ask me at the end. Yeah.
So, and Carly, initially, what got the film off of the ground, and how did you meet the producers of the film?
So what it actually...
You're breaking up a tiny little bit.
Second, because you guys are frozen, so I want to make sure my internet's doing okay. Cameron, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear?
Cameron, can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can hear you.
Did we lose her?
Yeah, I think so. I don't see her.
Now we can't hear you.
We can't hear her.
There.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, goodness. Okay. If it does it again, I told Cameron I set up a couple different spaces in my house because you know how the internet is during this time. So I can move to them if I need to. So it didn't start off as a film. I was taking this self-development seminar at this company called Landmark that does personal and professional development. And they were talking in the course about, you know, how we don't do things because we're worried about how we're going to look. This is weird, but I had this desire. It's always been something that I've wanted to do. Cameron, can you still hear me?
It's cutting out just a tiny bit.
Oh, no.
You might have to adjust.
One moment, okay? I'll be right back. I'm gonna move to another spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The internet keeps.
I'm surprised my internet hasn't gotten choppy today. So if you guys also, in your notes, I want you to take out the questions from your film. Obviously, if you have any questions for Carly, definitely this is the time to ask.
Location 2. Is
There we
that
go.
better?
Amazing.
Okay. So it actually didn't start off as a film. Originally, I was in this self-development seminar at this company called Landmark, and they were leading this conversation about how we don't do things because we're afraid of how we're going to look. And from a young age, I always thought it would be super cool to shave my head, just because I just thought that would be cool. I don't even think I saw it in any sort of movies or in fashion or anything. I just thought it would be really fun. And so I was sitting there in the seminar, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm totally not doing it because I'm afraid of how I'm gonna look. I was waiting I was waiting to be given a role as an actor so I could have justification to do it. You know, I was waiting for some significant time in my life. And I'm like, well, it's my life. Like, what am I waiting for? And I happened to be going to South Africa that summer on a service trip. So I related a lot of the perks for me fundraising for that campaign to me shaving my head. My husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he bought like the first cut. So that was like a way of how I like raised money. You know, I actually went down to San Diego. I went to the woman who'd been cutting my hair my entire life. I literally used to drive to San Diego for my hairstylist. I'm sure you guys get that, being this is your profession. When when you find someone that you really trust, you will drive 2 hours away to go to them. So she actually did the rest of it. She was really cool. So it started off that way. Hold on, I'm just gonna pause. Okay, great. So it started off that way where I shaved my head and I just had felt more beautiful than I'd ever felt in my whole life. And I kept the style choice because of it. And I was directing a one-woman show, and my actress, we all went out with my actress and the people who came to see the show afterwards, and her father and her father's wife, who's her stepmom, were there, and they are producers. And they were asking me and just talking to me about how I didn't have any hair, and I was sharing with them about how I was going to be doing this charity event called You Are Not Your Hair, where I was going to rally men and women to shave their heads for charity when I come back from South Africa. And they said, that's amazing. Do you want, this has to be a documentary. Like, we want to produce this documentary. And the rest is kind of history. I definitely didn't anticipate there being a film made about it. It just kind of happened that way.
So was it kind of a shock when they decided, or when they asked you, you know, about creating the documentary, when it all kind of like came to be?
Yeah, it wasn't so much of a shock because I was in a course actually with the same company at Landmark called the Self-Expression Leadership Program. And the whole point of the course was to create some sort of community service project that you were passionate about and have it be a possibility of something you cared about, and that had it get way bigger than who you just were, like not have it be just like small thing. And so the more that I shared with people about the shaving of the head and invited people to do it with me and how passionate I was about it and just shared my experience, the bigger it got. Like, it got way bigger than I could have even imagined. And so when they were like, yeah, we should make this into a documentary, it wasn't like I was like, of course, but part of me was like, of course this would happen. Like, this is like this extraordinary thing, and it just keeps getting bigger. Like, I didn't anticipate it happening, but it was one of those unexpected surprises.
So was this your first filming experience then?
It wasn't my first filming experience. My first filming experience, I think I was 7, and I stole my mom's VHS video camera, and I used to put on music videos. I don't know if anyone on
Yes.
the Zoom did that, but I feel like all children at some point, even if they didn't have a video camera, did something along those lines. That was my first filming experience. I know you didn't mean that, but in terms of, this was my first feature-length documentary that I filmed. So it was my first feature-length documentary that I filmed, and I had filmed some documentary shorts when I was in high school and when I was in college. But yeah, this is first. So it was definitely not. I was a double major in film and theater in college, so it wasn't my first time to a set, but it was my first time, I guess, being, the main of something. So I did feel a little bit like I was on this like reality TV show that, like, or something. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
like they
because the
would
camera's
follow
just
me
following.
around.
Yeah, there was no script, correct?
Yeah. So, there was definitely part of me like, oh, like, don't say any swear words. Try to be a better person because the cameras are on. Not that I'm a bad person, but so that was really unique. The last documentary I had filmed was a documentary short where in college I'd gotten a scholarship to go to Cameroon, Africa, but it was a short, and I was behind the camera almost the entire time. So very, very different experience.
So you obviously would do it again. I'm thinking, let's go into our next question. You actually already explained the emotional process of shaving your head for the first time. Is there anything else
But I
in
would
particular you
love
would
to
share?
Yeah, like it was so extraordinary because I felt like it felt really vulnerable. So it felt really, I'm just gonna pause. Okay, cool. I want to make sure. How's my internet? Is it better here than it was at
It's
the
better.
other place?
I can hear you. Sometimes,
Cameron, is my internet
sometimes you
better here
pause.
than? Oh, okay.
Sometimes you pause a little bit, but I'm still getting audio.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, great. Just let me know if it gets bad. So as far as when I first shaved my head, it was really vulnerable. Like, I can't tell you how many times I would do this and I had no hair to do this for because it was just really, hold on one second. Okay, I just switched internet, so I hope that helps. So I felt really vulnerable because you don't realize how much, it's not like I hid behind my hair, but so much of our hair is used to shape our face. So when I shaved my head, it was like, here I am,
Yeah.
like, and so it felt really vulnerable to me. It made me feel really open. I had a lot of people, and women in particular, coming up to me and telling me that they always wanted to shave their head, but they're like, oh, I don't have the guts, or am I still good, Cameron?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Oh, now you're paused.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll do my best to pause and all the things. Okay. So it's funny, I see you move, Cameron, but then other people are frozen. So I'm like, I don't know if I should keep talking.
Let us know, you guys, if